I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'd like to read a letter from outgoing President Greg Figgins. Tonight our club makes a great transition forward. The club of 7 years ago, in 1999, when I joined, met at Valley White at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, was attended by about 15 to 20 members on a good day. We now find twice that usually in attendance, and our membership is well over 100. I congratulate Kathy Bloom and their executive board, and I wish the club the very best. Their election will take the club ahead in a more visible and community-related ways. I will not be able to attend tonight because I am being sworn in as a member of the Hemet-San School District's governing board. At this very minute, I thank all those who supported me in my campaign for election. If you haven't heard, the final vote count showed I won the seat by 150 votes. A Democrat won.
I got a new member here, Will Carlson. Will Carlson.
Carlson.
I've been a member. John's already been here.
Al knows.
He's an old member.
So, who's the old people in here? We have a old. I'd like to introduce Bob Mills, Region 19 Director for the California Democratic Party. Bob?
Good evening. Good evening. And congratulations, Democrats. Give yourselves all a big hand for your work. And also to Rita for her work.
Yes.
Before the formalities, I'm just going to have a couple of words about the state of the party, because I was pleased to be in attendance at the E-Board meeting in Anaheim, 2 blocks from the Magic Kingdom this past weekend. And it was kind of an interesting blend of 2 things. Congratulations and support. Now, in regards to support, I was curious how the state party would deal with this, but they applauded and gave a standing ovation to Phil Angelides for his courage in sticking out the race. So I thought that was well deserved. And he was applauded by some of the new officials, John Chang, who is the new controller, and the 2 new ladies who are on the Equalization Board, which deals with your taxes. We now have a Democratic majority on the Board of Equalization, thanks to John's election. John Garamendi was there Friday night for a reception. He applauded Phil also. He's your new Lieutenant Governor. I don't know if any of you are on his Christmas card list. He tries something a little different each year. This year, he and his wife Patty were surrounded by their 9 grandchildren. So he'll be our new Lieutenant Governor, and we refer to him as Governor, of course. And everybody was pledging that they would, quote, keep an eye on the Governor, who unfortunately gets 4 more years. His own party will be keeping an eye on him, so he's going to be surrounded by eyes. And he won't be talking about any girly men. It's going to take him to work. And as far as the future is concerned, there was one curious little flyer that was placed on all our seats. I'll pass this around. I don't know whether it suits any of your pleasures, but somebody's already started. Also, there was a lot said by this lady, and these buttons were being sold for $3 a shot, and they went pretty well. January 4th, next year, Nancy Pelosi will be taking office, be sworn in as the first woman Speaker of the House. Unfortunately, the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Jack O'Connell, is a Democrat, although it's a so-called nonpartisan office. But he is suggesting to all the school districts that the televised installation of Nancy be available to school kids all over the state on the 4th of January. I think that's something, I don't know the time, I can't tell you the time on that, but I think it's very important. Also, as far as party business is concerned, how many of you have been active in the 65th Assembly District? Okay. Have you received your notices of the meeting?
No. January 14th.
January 14th meeting. Okay, let me share this with you.
No.
The 65th Assembly District has decided to dissolve itself as an official entity. However, every 2 years, beginning next year, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on January 14th. Those of you who reside in the district will be eligible to be delegates to the state party convention and of course the state central. However, you must, and you need to contact Betty McMillian, who is the contact person. You need to submit advance indications of your desire to run by January 2nd. So these are on the state party website, and if any of you have contact with Betty, please call her. If you want to write this thing down, or let's see, maybe your secretary could take it into the minutes for all those. It'll be located, or the meeting will take place at 2 o'clock, Sunday the 14th, at the Noble Creek Community Center. You know,
It's on Oak Valley Parkway.
yeah, it's on Oak Valley Parkway, 38900 Oak Valley Parkway, and it's in Boca. So that'll be at 2 o'clock, and if you do want to be a delegate to the State Central Committee, you need to get your application in by January 2nd. Okay, the convention will be in Southern California. It will be in San Diego the last weekend, which is I think the 25th through the 27th, San Diego Convention Center. I'm told by the state political director, Sam Rodriguez, that there will be 8 presidential hopefuls appearing during the 2 days that are at the convention. So they're obviously looking to California, whether it's the dream team that's floating around there or other persons. We are the most important state, clearly. So 07 is going to be not just a quiet organizational year, but I hope a busy year for you as Democrats to continue your registration process. You've already had council races, so you're quiet. Riverside, where I'm going to go after this meeting, is not quiet. I'm going to go to the first campaign kickoff of our #1 Democrat, Don Dutrow, who's in the 1st ward. We have a lady in the 3rd ward, Nancy Hart, and we have just elected Andy Melendrez in the 2nd ward. So you count them, that's 1, 2, 3 Democrats. We have 7 members. We want to pick up 1 more seat and make it a Democratic majority in the city of Riverside. So that effort's going to be going forward. And I told the people in Voter Services that they should continue the bounty program. So keep in touch, help, and if they're not continuing, let me know, and we'll prod them up at state. One other thing that was very interesting to me, I have another hat that I wear in Riverside. I'm part of a group called the Riverside Coalition for Police Accountability. And through our efforts in 2000, we got a citizens review board to keep watching the police. You know, this was Aisha Miller country, you've heard about her. And they passed a resolution overwhelmingly affirming the state party's support for citizen review boards. So that was the only controversial thing. Everything else was praising Nancy Pelosi, those sorts of things. So overall, it was an excellent meeting. Do any of you have any questions about that or any aspect of the state party before we trot the officers up here? Okay. All right. Could the following people come to, well, let's put you right up here, not in firing squad order, but just could we have Kathy? Is Ken here? Yeah. Okay. And Carol Cripps. And Dennis Sandrini. And also, while they're assembling there, I want to thank you for having me back. This is the 2nd time. Must have done something right the last time. Okay. Could you please raise your right hand? And I, raise your name, do solemnly swear to uphold the bylaws of the Hemet-San Democratic Club, the Riverside County Central Committee, and the California State Democratic Party. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bruce's been our hard-working secretary for 2 years. He's done a lot of hard work, and so we'd like to present you with a certificate of appreciation for your work as our secretary.
Oh, thank you.
Anyhow, this bouquet is for Kathy.
Wow.
And I make just a 2-minute.
Minute and a half.
Minute and
Well,
a
you
half.
get talking. Talk fast.
Anyhow, Kathy, congratulations as our newly elected president. I know you will be a vital and effective force in our club. And we are happy to be under your inspired leadership.
Okay, now the entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, Diamondairs.
From head to toes. every dime. And if you don't come back, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. If he ever comes back and just stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Sitting down and looking through my back door, wondering which way to go. That man crazy about, he don't want me no more. Think I'll take me a freight train, 'cause it'll feel so blue. Ride all the way to the end of the line, thinking only of you, bum, bum, bum. Meanwhile, in another city, just about to go insane, bum, bum, bum. Seems like I heard my baby the way he used to call my name. If he ever comes back and just stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. I mean, I'm walking with my baby by San Francisco Bay. Somewhere over the rainbow. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care and hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. He's bringing lots of toys for girls and boys, and wait until you see that Merry Christmas tree. So on, Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the roof, to the top of the wall, he's coming to wish Merry Christmas to all. The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. But it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Hear those sleigh bells ringing. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May your Christmases be white. This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my handing you tonight because you didn't know it was going to be like this either. So we appreciate you having us, and we hope that you've enjoyed our presentation. And we wish you all very, very happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And happy New Year.
Thank you for coming and entertaining us.
Thank you for having us.
Next on the agenda is Mark's, congratulations, Kathy. Remarks by our new president, Kathy Hayes.
I want you to know Hal handed me the new gavel tonight, and it says he didn't make a formal presentation of it, you notice. He just sort of snuck it to me. And it says Hemet-San Democratic Women's Club. Date is 1987. So I kind of thought you might all like to know that now that you have a female president, there's going to be a few changes. And it's right here on the gavel. First, I'd like to pass out these little pink sheets. And if you would all take a look at the little flyers I passed out earlier, I'm sorry I didn't have enough for everybody. I really just wanted your input on it because we have some plans for things that we're going to do a little differently, and I want to share those plans with you. Oh, now the little pink sheet is one of our plans. What we'd like you to do is note on the top if you're a member of any organizations. For example, if you're a member of Sierra Club, or you're a member of Habitat, what is
Humanity.
it? Habitat for Humanity, or Audubon, or just anything you can think of, Greenpeace, anything. If you write that organization down, what we plan to do is pick a representative from our club to each of those clubs. So if, for example, Marie says, I'm a member of Sierra Club, and if she, in fact, on occasion goes to Sierra Club meetings, well, we would love to have Marie then be our representative to Sierra Club. Our goal is to have us communicating with the other organizations locally so that people get to know who we are and that we're here and that we want to participate in our community. So what we'd like to do is, if you decide that you want to be our representative to whatever organization you're a member of, then when we have our meetings, we're going to ask you to tell us what's going on in your other club or your other organization. And we're going to ask for you to keep that other club or organization informed about what we're doing. At our last board meeting, we had some discussions about participating in the formulating of a community council. The goal of a community council would be to tackle local issues. For example, the issue of supporting the homeless shelter. That's an example. There are many other local issues that maybe every single person here wants to participate in and have a voice. Our club can be a vehicle for our voice. Our club, we're happy to have our club and to sponsor obtaining membership and voter registration. I think that's a really important goal for our club, but I think we can have other goals as well. I'd like to see our club become more active and participate in our community. So as a first step to that, you're already well aware, and there was a resolution that we drafted at our board meeting. And just so you know, there were some typos on the web, on the computer if you read it, but there weren't in the hard copy that we passed to the... I was worried about that when I saw that, but you don't need to worry. Our hard copy didn't have any. And we presented that to the San Jacinto City Council last Thursday. So a group of us, Mr. and Mrs. Spangenberg, and TJ and Dennis and Ken and Aladdin also showed up.
And Marie.
And right, and Marie was there. So we all formed a little group and we sat together, and then I got up and presented our resolution to the San Jacinto Council. Now, I thought, okay, I did an okay job at that. I mean, I didn't make any gross grammatical errors, but I did okay. But you never know how the people behind you you're taking it, because obviously you're talking to the city council when you're standing up there and making a presentation. So later, the few of us went out to Denny's afterwards, and I was pleased to hear TJ reported and the others reported that the audience had been very receptive to our resolution, that we got some thumbs up, some yeahs, some winks, some handshakes, nodding heads, a lot of nodding heads. Now what I took that to mean is that the community wants to support the homeless shelter, not just the Democratic Club. So it's our goal to use the Democratic Club as a vehicle to show that community support in that circumstance. We're also going to make a presentation to the Hemet City Council, and obviously any club support for that and participation would be certainly very welcome. Now, what we thought of in our little meeting at the restaurant afterwards was, wouldn't it have been nice to have had something to hand to the people who were nodding their heads supportively? There was no way to let them know who we were, or that we have meetings, or what we care about. So I came up with a little flyer that I passed around, just as something we can carry around in like a stack whenever we're making a presentation somewhere, so that when we get a supportive person in the group, or we get a nodding head or a waving hand, we can say, look, this is where we meet, this is who we are, and maybe you'd like to join us. So I hope that you're comfortable with that, because as members of the club, you know, your approval and your input is certainly well received. We want to make sure that we're passing out something everyone's comfortable with. It's pretty generic. It doesn't seem to have anything, you know, theoretically on it that would cause us a problem. It seems to be pretty generic. So that's one of the first part. That's the flyer that we want to hand out. Yes.
I would recommend having the address.
The address of the restaurant? We might want to add that. That's a very good point. And if our group gets bigger, we might not want to remain here, because as you can see, we're fine for this size. But we get much bigger, which is our goal, to get bigger. If we get much bigger, then this location may not accommodate us. So that's a very good idea. If there's any other ideas, we'd sure like to hear them as well.
You might want, we have a post office box.
Okay.
Anybody wants to, we might want to have that as well.
Okay.
I thought the post office box is on.
I don't have it here. Let's look.
I thought we had that.
I think it's got the 4 phone numbers and the websites, and
It's got just an email and the...
so we can certainly add that information. That's fine. So, if in the course of the rest of our meeting you'd like to fill in the little pink sheet and tell us about the organizations you're in, then we'll use this pink sheet at our board member. We'd like you not to leave tonight without filling that out, because then we'll be looking those over tomorrow night at our board meeting and trying to see if we have enough people to represent us at the various other organizations locally. And we discussed this community council concept, where our goal was to establish a council where all of the organizations would send a representative, and ours, of course, would be one of those, and then we could try to tackle issues on a larger basis. On the second part of the little pink sheet, there are notes for various committees, and some of the people have been so wonderful for so long, and they have been doing the same functions for so long, and I know many of those people would like to have some assistance or hand over the reins and let someone take over and maybe start a new committee or be in charge of a new committee. So if you'd like to mark a box of anything you're interested in, I'm sure we can accommodate you, because we want to make sure that our club members are feeling like they're participating and they're involved, and that we're doing more than just coming to a meeting and enjoying the entertainment. It is my thought as a person, the little comment on the front of the flyer was, if you feel like an island, I've felt for years in Hemet like an island. Like, I just didn't have the support of my community, and at least my political and philosophical beliefs. And I'm happy to have this organization as a support system. And I want each person here to feel like the organization is a support system for that person, for each person individually. It would appear to me that this is an opportunity for all of us to express the feelings that maybe we've had bottled up inside and not had a vehicle to use to express. So many of us want to be out in our community doing things and don't really have a way to manage that or an opportunity to manifest that desire and goal. And would really like over this next year to have the club be the vehicle to express those feelings that maybe nobody's had a way to express. Some of our members, like Elaine, was so active with the Roth campaign, and certainly Rita with her campaign. Some of us have really big ways to let out a lot of those pent-up feelings of democratic minority. But some of us really haven't had a way to express themselves. And I'd like the club now to have an opportunity for the club to be the vehicle for people to express that, maybe that feeling of being kind of bottled up and not having a mechanism for expression. I mentioned previously a little bit about myself, and I think I would just like to tell you a little bit more. I do practice law in this community, just practically across the street, which is why we thought about this restaurant, because we eat here 2 or 3 times a week at lunchtime. In fact, one time the Spandenbergs and the Sandrinis were here having lunch. We said, oh look, now we can have an impromptu meeting. They showed up at lunch. So now we know where we can catch our members if they want to find us at a lunchtime. We're oftentimes here. So I also have a law business. I practice both of those with my husband, Scott Rudabaugh, and we're both available and certainly Scott I can consider my co-president. I do want you to know that the election committee didn't approach me first, they approached my husband. But notice who's the one standing up here. I want full credit that I'm the one that said yes and he's the one that said no. So when the phone call comes, it's probably me, I have to tell you. Okay, does anybody have any questions or thoughts they want to share about those ideas? Yes.
Yeah, on the pink sheet, you don't have a box for voter registration, and that's our largest volunteer group. About 20 people volunteer now.
Well, we knew you were
We
going to
actually
keep that.
discussed that. You were keeping that. We actually discussed that, Jim, at our meeting. We were all pretty adamant that you're so good at it. We didn't want to move.
If you need a place for everybody to mark down they want to volunteer for voter registration.
I think that's a good idea. How about we put that under your choice at the bottom? How about we mark that under your choice? One more thing I just wanted to note for you. If you look at your agendas, there's a new item on the regular agenda, community issues, and then it says number 7, and it's marked me, Kathy. That's going to be a new regular item on our agenda. That's going to be our place to bring up the community issues that we want to bring attention to. So maybe it's a street light going in on Johnston and State, for example, a stop sign on Johnston and State. Maybe it's something that the community has an interest in. Maybe it's the homeless shelter. Maybe it's a Habitat for Humanity huge function or fundraising party that a marathon. Maybe it's anything that you think is a community issue that you'd like to draw the club's attention to, so that the club can maybe delegate a person to be our representative at that activity or give a report from that activity. That's the place on the agenda where we'd like you to bring that up. So we want you to know that this new idea that we have for community involvement is actually going to have a place for expression, and that place is every single meeting on the agenda. And I'll try to remember it's item number 7, but maybe it'll be a different number on the item. So if you're thinking about things in the community that you want to share, you need to know there's going to be a spot on every agenda for you to have that opportunity to share it, so that we don't leave anybody out in our goal of participating at a higher level.
Definitely. I'll give you
And
that.
Dr. Rita, did you have something you wanted to share? That's what I thought. And then I'd like you.
I want to say Feliz Navidad y próspero Año Nuevo, paz en el mundo y paz en nuestro corazón.
Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and may you have peace in your soul and in your life. I am grateful that the Democrats have won. The frosting to the cake was the resigning of Rumsfeld. I thought that was the best thing, the best president we have for peace in the world is the most important, and that we as Democrats will stand there for all Americans, especially when they come back from war. Let me say, even though I lost, and it took $500,000 to defeat me against my 25,000, I will tell you now that, as I said to you before, I am still there. I'm still running, but I'm reconsidering another office. I am going to run for Congress for the office of Jerry Lewis. I have been told by my cousin, the Secretary-Treasurer of Communications of America workers, that the Republicans have already declared themselves. The new assessor and the lawyer from San Bernardino to Republicans have already said they're running for the office. So it's in the works that Jerry Lewis will be resigning either because he will be indicted or because of ill health and they need him at home. But whatever the reason that he may use, sometime between now and November, in the next 3 to 6 months, he will be resigning. And let me say that as it stands right now, if it's true what my first cousin said, Karen Macias, the Republicans have split the ticket. It's split. We carry 40%, they carry 60%. So right now it can go any way you want. If the Democrats stay together, united as a force, there will be another Democrat in the House of Representatives, and we will have more control over Social Security. We will have universal health care, education for no child left behind, for small businesses, for senior citizens, for the sick and the old and the veterans who are coming home. That's how important this is. The first time in 38 years that Democrats may have the opportunity of taking the district over, congressional. That is a Merry Christmas and a very good American dream. So I am saying to you, it's all in the vote, and it's all in you. For you can make the change, and you can bring prosperity to our congressional district, and we will have people first, not lobbyists. So I say to you, I need you, as Uncle Sam said, I need you to volunteer. There's Marie, she won't let you go. And last of all, we need money from the beginning, because I lost due to money, not because of values. That is the difference about the Republican and Democratic parties, is that they gave $500,000 so that this guy could beat me out. But he didn't have the values, and he didn't have the speech. He did not stand there for Americans. So we need to think that people are number one, that Americans are number one, and that our country, America, is number one, and we're not going to walk away from that fight. So I hope that you will remember. God bless America, Merry Christmas, and a prosperous Democratic New Year.
The young lady at the end of the table?
Yeah, my name's Janice, and I like having dinner. I look forward to it. It's once a month. It gets everybody together. And if they don't want to eat, then don't order food. That's how I feel.
Thank you for sharing that.
And I want to say, too, I don't make very much money, but that $10 for the dinner, it's very good, and I enjoy it. So.
The lady spoke about younger people having trouble that come to a meeting at 5 o'clock. If they don't have to go home and get a meal, it's easier to come. It's easier to come here and have a meal and a meeting. If they have to go home, get a meal, she says no. If they have to go home and get a meal, then it really makes it.
Well, I'd like to table, I'd really like to table this discussion so that the board can address it. The board can find out what the inclination is on the board and then maybe pass out a ballot the next time at the meeting. I really don't want this to turn into a 20-minute discussion at this time before the board has even looked at the topic. So, well, I know some people obviously have some genuine concerns on this issue. If you could just hold on to them until we've at least let the board look at it, and you'll have an opportunity then to comment when it comes back to the committee, back to the club. So, because I do think there are probably other things we'd like to address for this meeting at this time. Is there anything else that anybody'd like to discuss? Dick?
I'm collecting dues if you're late, or remember, next month you get one more newsletter.
Okay, before we call the numbers then, before Dennis does his numbers, I'd like you to all to look at that pink sheet, because except for a few very, very supportive club members, it's blank. As I look around, I only see writing on about 3 or 4 people's pink sheet. We're not going to be able to be an activist club unless we get you to fill in the form. If it's my, are you saying my husband's not filling in the form?
He is now. He's
The only other thing I would like to say is that I am a member of Habitat for Humanity, and January 20th they're having a marathon up at the lake, and they need a lot of volunteers to pass out water and man the booths for the runners that are going around. If you can do it, just call Sharon Desgrove. She's a member of our club over at Habitat, and let her know, because volunteers are hard to get right now.
Have a number?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact.
So that's the way this is supposed to work. What just happened here, and do you have the number? When we have our
it's 658 0235. 658 0235.
So that's exactly how it should.
When is it? It's January 20th is the race. They're having a marathon, a half marathon, and a 5K. If anybody needs any information on it, I've got some.